Hey guys, this is Lori, and today we're going to be talking about budgeting and why it's so important. So we've all been there. We live paycheck to paycheck, we're getting our money, we're spending our money, and then at the end of each month, we sit and wonder where the heck all of our money went and why don't we get to have any of it. I've lived this, and quite frankly, each time the season of my life changes, I feel like I forget how to budget. And I go through all those emotions again of wondering where my money went and why I don't get to have any of it. So, in order to move forward about talking about budgeting, we have to really understand what budgeting is. At a really high level, budgeting, simply put, is just a spending plan. You sit down and you determine what money you have and how you're going to spend your money. A bit more of a technical definition of budgeting is where you sit down and you determine what your expenses are, you determine what your income is, and you apply your income to your expenses. So expenses are the things that you have to pay, and income's the money that you bring in. So budgeting is a big deal. It's how we're able to really live our lives well. So a couple of things to keep in mind about why it's such a big deal is budgeting helps us to ensure that we have the money that we need in order to pay those expenses. Expenses like your rent, gas, your car, food that you need to eat, just all of those, the things that have to be paid. Budgeting makes life less stressful because it's less stressful when you know that your bills are being paid or that they're going to be paid. You're able to live life easier when you know that you're being taken care of. And then lastly, budgeting leads to saving, which is where you get to do the things that you really want to do, like retire when you're older, or go on vacation, or just eat out all the time if that's what you like to do. It doesn't really matter because if your bills are paid and you're taken care of each month, that extra money you can put towards whatever you want. So here's some things that I want you to keep in mind as you're starting to budget. First, you have to follow a budgeting method. My favorite budgeting method is a zero-based budgeting method. I actually discussed the zero-based budgeting method in another video, so I'm not going to get into it here. But what I want you to know is that you have to have a budgeting method that you're going to follow. Secondly, you want to pick a budgeting tool. So there's lots of budgeting tools out there. There's budgeting printables, there's budgeting planners, there's budgeting apps that you can download on your phone. But you want to pick just one tool. I pick just one tool. I like to use budgeting planners because I like to write things down. I like to see things on paper with ink, and there's something about just writing it myself and following the budget that way that works for me. It speaks to me. But the reason though that you want to pick just one tool is that when you have multiple tools that you're putting your budget in, it can become overwhelming and time consuming, and you're going to be more likely to not budget at all because it's just too much. So pick one tool and use that tool. And then lastly, you want to be consistent. You want to be consistent with your budgeting because that's how you're going to be able to build your habit. And then once you have your habit, you're going to be successful and you're going to be so grateful that you stuck with this habit of budgeting that you made. Now, if you fall out of habit of budgeting and you go into a free fall of spending again, it's okay. Just get back into budgeting. Just start back from where you left off. It's going to take a couple months to figure it back out, but it'll be fine. So you don't want to get stuck into that mindset of thinking that budgeting doesn't work because you fell out of it. Well, no, it does work. Budgeting only works when you're consistent with it and you do it month after month. That's when you see the results. That's when you see yourself successfully budgeting and you can be in the place of living well that you want to be. So, I know I went over a lot of more general details when it comes to budgeting and how to do it and what you should use. Are there any budgeting tools or printables or planners that you like to use? Let us know in the comments those specific things because there's so much out there. We don't know what all is out there. I just know the tools that I like to use. So leave some comments in the comment section about what you like to use and how you like to budget. Are you struggling with budgeting? Because I do struggle with budgeting. I'll fall out of that habit sometimes, and it's a struggle to get back into it. So if you're there, leave a comment. We can support each other in this, and we'll all get back into budgeting together. If you found this video helpful in any way, please subscribe to the channel so that you can get more videos just like this one. And until next time, live life well.